The way to get rid of tension is to do just the opposite of all the things that cause it.
Hello everyone, Hugo from Ichiban Painting, and today we're going to be looking at how to make some mud that is still wet and fresh on your tracks. So basically what you're going to need to have for that, I'm sorry, I wanted to do this tutorial with my new pigments, but they didn't arrive yet. I ran out. I'm going to be only using the Painted Dragon pigments from now on, but I need to finish these spots and they're already almost half done, so I'll be using this. So basically we have Vallejo pigments. This is burnt umber, and we have some carbon black pigments. We have some game color charted brown from Vallejo and some gloss varnish from Vallejo. Okay, so basically why I'm going to be using these three and how I'm going to be using it, it's really simple. I'm going to be actually mixing the two pigments 1-to-1 ratio, so one scoop of each. Then I'm going to mix it with paint and gloss varnish. Just going to explain to you why I use paint and gloss varnish. But the gloss varnish is basically to make the mud a little bit shiny and look wet. But why do I use the paint in the mix is because of this here. So I'm going to show you this. This is a rhino I've been working on, right, for a painting contest, actually on the Painted Dragon. Probably when this video is going to come out, the contest is already going to be finished. But I'm going to show you one thing. Here you have normal, I applied pigments on this model, mixing it with paint. So first of all, when you mix the pigment with paint, it gives you a little bit more time to work with it. Because you know the common trick for that is to mix it with you know, friction alcohol, and then mix it with it and then apply it on a model. Problem when you do that technique is that it dries really fast, and then after that you're gonna get this problem. You see here, this portion of the tank here, hold on a second, this portion of the tank got that from mixing alcohol and the pigment. Look here, if I put my finger on it, and look what's on my finger. Okay, if I do it on the track, look at this. Okay, so that's the problem. The pigments are not going to be super well fixed on the model. And then after that, if you use clear on top of it, or flat clear to, you know, fix it permanently, you might have a problem in a reaction with your gloss. It's going to change the color. Okay, but if you mix it with paint, look here, I mixed it with paint. Ah, fuck, my finger was still, that finger is clean, right? Mix it with paint here. If I spray, nothing on my finger, okay? So the pigments stay there and there's no problem, okay? So when you mix it with paint, that's what you get. So basically, let's move on to the technique, okay? Okay, time to mix the love potion. So I'm mixing the two pigments, like I said, 1-to-1 right now. I'm gonna add some paint and gloss varnish and a little bit of water to help everything, you know, blend in. The problem with that, don't ask me the proportion because I always eyeball it. It's just, you know, and it's mud, so it doesn't matter if there's more than one, and the batch that you're doing are different because it's mud. It's not always the same color, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so once the love potion is done, I took one of my dry brushing brush. As you can see, it's all, you know, worn out and old, to apply the mud, just because you know, you don't want to have the mud all uneven and you know. And the problem with this model, but not the problem, but the challenging thing with this model, and why I went with wet mud instead of normal mud or just dried mud, is because, you know, the model is so rusted, and the rust colors are so close to the browns from mud, that I really wanted to have something that will set the difference in between the rust and the model and the mud itself, so you could really clearly see a difference between both, and not having it just being you don't know whether it's rust or, you know, mud or dirt. So that's why I went with that. So now we're just gonna move on to the other side, and that's pretty much it. You know, this is a fairly easy technique. There's nothing, you know, bad to it. You just want to apply the mud where normally it, you know, mud would accumulate. So on the guiding wheels of the tracks, on the bottom side of the tank, on the hull, in the front and in the back, and that's pretty much it. You know, there's companies that make already pre-made mud or wet mud effect that you can go out right off the pot. But I think that, you know, for the amount of time that you're going to be using this kind of effect on your tank, most people or painters that, you know, have been doing the hobby for a while, most of the time have already have pigments, gloss, varnish and paint. So it's really, you know, easy to do it because you already have all you need to do it, instead of buying a product just for that. So I think it's a little bit more convenient. So basically now the tank is pretty much, you know, the mud is pretty much applied. By mixing the gloss varnish with the pigments, you get a semi-gloss kind of consistency, because, you know, the paint that you mix with is already flat, and the pigments has a tendency to bring everything really flat. But so just to bring in a little bit of a more watery, muddy, freshy look, then we're just, you know, throwing in some gloss varnish randomly in some areas, just to make it have a more character and really look like you know, wet mud. So basically that's it. This was Hugo from Ichiban Painting, and I hope you liked the video. I'll put some pictures at the end of the finished model so you can see the finished model and also the wet mud on the tracks. And I hope this technique can help you. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers for watching, guys.